So you have your backflip down, and you want to know how to kind of get your form better so you can go on to other tricks. There's a couple of different points that can help you with increasing your backflip form. One is tuck, which is essentially how fast you spin. Two is how high you can jump, which is pretty self-explanatory. And then third is spotting. So spotting is just knowing where you are in the air, kind of. So the first thing I'm going to go over is tuck. If you can already jump high, this one's not super important. But if you're weak, like I used to be when I learned backflip, then this helps a lot. So the cowboy tuck is preferable to regular tuck. So with regular tuck, you're going to tuck your knees up to your chest. With cowboy tuck, you're going to tuck your knees up to your shoulders. This kind of makes you spread your legs more, and it makes you smaller in the air. And the smaller you are in the air, the more aerodynamic you are, and the faster you're going to spin. So if your legs are weak and you can't jump high, then this helps a ton because you don't really need to jump as high to land perfectly. To learn this, it's usually pretty easy, but if you want some things to kind of improve it, all kinds of splits. So straddle split, obviously. Yeah, straddle splits, and then also front splits. You wouldn't expect it, but since you are bringing your legs up, front splits are going to help with that. Same for lunges. Second is jump. So this one's also pretty self-explanatory. The higher you jump, the more time you have to rotate, the more time you have to get a better landing. So some workouts you can do to work this are tuck jumps and box jumps. I went over this last time. I didn't go into as much detail, but tuck jumps, pretty self-explanatory as well. Tuck jumps are literally just backflips, but without the flip. So it's kind of very similar, so it's good to practice. Box jumps, they're not as important, but unlike tuck jumps, you have the box to jump on, so it holds you accountable how high you're jumping every time. So you make sure you're actually not pussying out and not jumping high enough. And then squats and leg press, also pretty self-explanatory. The more you can squat and leg press, the higher you can probably jump, unless you're super jacked. Calves, you wouldn't expect calves to be so useful, but when you jump, a lot of it is your calves lifting you. You never jump off your heels, you jump off your toes, so that helps a lot. And then lastly, backflip burpees. There's not really anything about them that helps you, but they're fucking sick. So that's that. And then lastly, round off. If you can learn a round off, those are very good for getting more height. It's a lot easier to do double backflip out of a round off. So if you ever want to progress to that, round offs are great for that. And then round offs are also great for all other backflip variations just because you get a lot more height. So a round off, basically you're throwing your body over itself so you can hit the ground with as much force as you can to launch you up even higher. Spotting is the last one. So spotting is a lot more advanced than the last two. You have to be kind of like really comfortable with the motion of a backflip before you can start doing it. Or at least until you can start doing it and be very aware. So spotting is basically just knowing where you are in the air. One of the main things for spotting is before you do the flip, you pick an object that's 45 degrees above your eyes and you stare at it, and then you do the flip and you continue staring at it the entire time until you can't see it anymore. You flipped enough that you can't even see it. Once you do, then you can not throw your head back, but relax your head. And then once you're done with that, you're going to start looking for the ground. Basically, as soon as you see the ground, that's when you open your legs so you can ensure that you'll land every time. You obviously won't land every time, but because if you're low enough, then no matter what you do, you're not going to land on your legs. So, but opening up as soon as you see the ground will almost always prevent you from over-rotating unless you're jumping off a cliff or something, or you're just unhumanly strong. Yeah, that's basically all I can think of on how to improve your backflip. If your backflip looks shitty right now, then implementing all of these will absolutely fix it. If there are any more kind of problems with backflip, just let me know. There's most problems you have, a bunch of people have already had a million times, so they're pretty easy to fix. That's all.